Todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Forrest. Escondí un tesoro y lo escondí muy bien.
All right. Oh, I don't have my hat on. Oh no. Yeah, I just watched. I guess he's the purest totem pole. Totem pole. Totem pole. It's not a totem pole. It's a totem. There's different things, but a totem is the spirit animal or the spirit. It's a it's a lot like it's a pole. Totem pole has a bunch of heads stacked on top of each other and animals, but his thing is, I just say this represents Forrest Fenn. It's kind of native looking, and so I call it a totem. But this thing, man, I gotta get some more glue. Look at this. The strap comes off. You can glue the strap back on. These my frogs are still there. So yeah, I just fixed up. The audio was kind of scratchy before. Now I got the audio. It's better, but maybe not better when it's playing over the speaker and coming through the phone. But when the next video I do that has that built right in, the audio should be a lot better. But the screenshot I did for the link to the video, with Forrest says, or the video I just watched was what how can you tell it's Forrest's special place? What are the things that Forrest loves? He loves archaeology. He loves he doesn't love art. He's pretty aware of art in the art world and what sells, what doesn't sell, what kind of art people have trouble seeing, like abstract art. He tells people to be an abstract artist, and he says his art is abstract, because I guess it's maybe his bronze, maybe his buffalo. He figured it was abstract because it wasn't a perfect buffalo. Like you might have a Dolly had abstract elephants that had legs that were 1,000 feet long and with their big fat bodies up there. So that's kind of abstract, off the wall. But the thing that about the site that you'll know it's Forrest Fenn's site is the archaeology, the ancient ruins, not traditional Native American, Apache, Navajo, Hopi, none of those. It's Clovis. It's a Clovis site. Well, he was thrown out of Pompeii 3 times because he'd try to hop over the wall and start digging. That's the stuff he loves to do. Look for arrowheads, look for artifacts. And when you find ancient ruins, guess what? Else you're gonna find? You're gonna find artifacts. I've got one. Well, I got my Clovis knife. I heard that the other guy said he has a this is like a skinning knife. It's just it's a sharp edge. It's a blade. These are flaked off. Here you can see where the flakes have been taken from the back, and there's a little bump in between each flake, and you can see the flakes have come off. And I think the way they date these rocks is the dirt that's collected inside the flakes. They somehow, I don't know, but you'd think they could. Yeah, it's a scraper. It's a hand tool. It fits in your hand just perfect. Your thumb grip has a thumb grip and everything, and yeah, they could skin an animal or whatever with this thing. I don't know if it used to have more out this way, but it's a knife. It's just completely flat on that side. But some of the big flakes on this side, like this, look at that big flake they took off there. I think he took it off from here, popped it off that way. They popped these off from that way, and then they came back the other way on them. But that's a Clovis knife. I found it at the Clovis temples, and I knew that if I got up in there, that higher up I'd find stuff like this. And I'm hoping to find nicer stuff. Something with some carvings in there, maybe something with the 10 Commandments on there. That's where Moses, the omnipotent guru Leo Salazar, said that's where Moses received the 10 Commandments. And Forrest says, success is an omnipotent guru. So Salazar knew the Moses that Forrest carved or that Salazar carved was the one that's up on the hill where I'm searching. And there was a head down in the forest below there that I seen. I go out there and I take pictures of everything like that rock. And when I'm looking at the rock, I see the guy with the fishing. Oh, that could be the guy with the fishing pole. Oh, and his line would go right underneath that log. That's the wood, And the other thing, when they said, who's Brown? Well, I know who Brown is. I showed you the last video. Shows you who Brown is. Who else? Anybody else with 3,100 acres of national forest? Privately owned now. So it's the forest. I wonder if they got a big old void in the map of the forest now when they sold that to, I don't know when he got it, about 1990 or so. He's a big real estate developer for all the big Silicon Valley giants, Silicon Giant valleys. The Silicon Valley giants. He built the buildings for Intel, Hewlett Packard, AMD, all these, Google. There's the Google campus. Yeah, that's in Mountain View, right by Shoreline Amphitheater. I've been there, seen Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young there, and I've seen Fleetwood Mac there, and I think those are the only 2 shows I've been to there. And when I went to see Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, I met Alice. You know what I asked Alice? Yeah. And we went to Wonderland. But so yeah, his special place is an archaeological site. And because he'd jump over that wall and start digging in the volcanic ash, looking for, whatever he could find. Oh, I want to find some ancient archaeology here. He couldn't resist. So what he likes is the thing about this archaeology site, the Forest Service is totally ignorant to it. I've showed them pictures, very detailed pictures, and their person down there is like a lot of treasure hunters. Doesn't have the eye. The eye is not trained to see stuff that is. The eye's not. Yeah. Well, this is 14,000 years old. When they talk Native Americans, they're talking the last 2,000 years or 3,000 years. These people back then, 14,000 years ago, they got wiped out with the mammoth, the camelop, and horse, the North American horse and the camel. All camels are descended from the camelop in North America, and they all died when the meteors or when a comet hit up near Hudson Bay or whatever, and fragments hit all over the world. They've got evidence of that in the Middle East. They got evidence of it in South America. That's one reason. You know why Machu Picchu's up 12,000 feet up in the mountains? Why it's way up there in the mountains? Because they were here when that big old rock hit in the ocean and probably sent a 4,000-foot wave right up against Chile and Peru and stuff. And they knew that if they lived down there by the ocean, it would get them again. So they put their stuff way up on the mountain where the wave wouldn't reach up there. That's why their stuff is on the mountain. Why haven't archaeologists figured that out? You know, it's like I found the evidence that, you know, that this is the Clovis Northwest Passage. The stuff further up the Rocky Mountains was all covered in glacier and ice and stuff. But it was okay. They had passage down here, and they came up the river as far as they could, and from there they unloaded from their boats, and I don't know if they took their canoes with them. They probably did, you know, being as they came all the way from the Gulf of Mexico up here, and they probably just loaded that canoe up on the Mammoth too. If they may have had wheels here long before, and maybe they pulled a cart behind the Mammoth with the canoe and whatever gear they had in the canoe in there, and the passengers. Maybe they rode on top of the Mammoth. I would think I'd ride on top of the Mammoth, but I can tell where some of the old roads are, and I'm going to go up and I'll go up and I've got new T-shirt coming in the mail with my version of the coin on the back of it. It looks pretty neat. But I ordered it before they had a winner. I thought, oh, well, I'm gonna put that on the back of my shirt. So I got those coming. And boy, I lost 2 people. I must be really bored. You know what? Those same people will go watch those dummies that don't have a clue. I mean, the guy that's been searching, I've been searching 2014, 14, 15, 16, 17. This is my 5th year of searching. 14, 15, 16. So, yeah, it's my 5th year of searching. So, you know, they're guests that have never put boots on the ground, only have these ideas in their head that come direct. The places come directly from places he's mentioned. And after the poem, it says, he mentions Captain Kidd in there too. So, you know, the 2 people can keep a secret if one of them's dead. Try to share his phone. Don't remember. I found what the heck? I dreamed the other night of reincarnated Billy. where went that paragraph? That sentence. Oh yeah, right. The first sentence of it. There are also subtle clues sprinkled in the stories. Subtle clues. If I was to, a subtle clue is the clowns in New Mexico. Okay, if I said the name of their program, that's not subtle. That is the exact opposite of what subtle means. So when he says the Madison River in the book, that is not subtle. When he says Firehole Hot Springs in the book, that is not subtle. That is bold, 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 bold. And I think he mentions Montana, he mentions New Mexico, he mentions Wyoming, and he mentions Yellowstone, but he never mentions Colorado. But he does mention Chaco Canyon, or not Chaco Canyon. Chaco Canyon is not, but Mesa Verde. Mesa Verde is a Colorado hint. Mesa Verde is archaeology, you know, but it is subtle in that it's another archaeological site. It makes it. It gave him feelings of other places he'd been, like Yellowstone. There's brown trout all over the place. They got some huge. I mean, them things look like salmon. Some of them I've seen. The record brown trout. It was like a 30-inch trout, man. That thing's huge. You know, they start looking. Trout don't. They take on. They kind of take on a salmon-like shape when they get big like that. His turquoise on his bracelet came from Colorado. Oh, the turquoise did? Okay. I didn't know if it came from Colorado or Arizona or what. But the beads in his bracelet came from Mesa Verde. Oh yeah, I was thinking his belt buckle. You said bracelet, and I was thinking belt buckle. How'd that happen? My mind's racing so much that it's a little dyslexia, but it's the way my mind works and all. It thinks of all the possibilities. Yeah, that's the other thing. All the possibilities. Okay, the wood in the hunt. You're going to find all the definitions of wood. Or even brown, you know, you're gonna like wood and brown wood is brown, bark is brown, but all of the things of brown. There's the guy named Brown. There's going to be Indian artifacts. Some people consider them the brown, but they were red. You're going to find the beaver and the brown trout, and the home of the brown trout. I was a campground host there, you know, and so there's all the different things of brown. The omegas, 2 omegas. Not just one. There's 2 of each thing in the chest. 2 big nuggets, two bracelets, there's at least 2 of everything. And it's the same with the poem, because you follow the poem to the wood, basically. And along the way, you're going to start finding, like at the home of Brown is the first art thing. There's some other stuff up another canyon, but it's not no place for the meek, so I went no place for the meek. The heavy loads in the water high, and the tired and weak, and that's where you find. And when you get there, when you look quickly down from the blaze, that blaze, and I'm saying that because there's more than one brown, there's more than one blaze. You don't believe me, and that's your downfall. Is because you're not letting your imagination take you there. You've got off the bus, and you're not going all the way downtown. You know, so there's there's more than two blazes. There's more than five blazes. Each of the drawings in the book are a blaze. When he says in the poem, the end is ever drawing nigh. What he's really saying is the end is in my drawings. Nigh. Yeah. And maybe they're near. The end is in my drawings near. Nigh is, maybe, I don't know. Nigh is a kind of a fictitious word. Make it mean whatever you want. But it means close, I think, or night, or dark, or who knows. But the thing I was looking at, I came up with one concept about where warm waters halt is the bottom of the spring, the deepest hot spring in the world. So if you got to think about the end or the beginning, when you're trying to find the end, think about the beginning. And so if we're looking for a hole, it's where I got the how deep is a hole, Well, where warm waters hole is 1,000 feet, and none of them springs up in Yellowstone go that deep. Because this one's in Guinness Book of Records. So, people go, oh no, it can't be that. You just lost. You just lost. You can't. You threw the baby out with the bathwater, basically. And when you make these assumptions that he wouldn't have done that, what do people do? They're going to hide it where you least expect it. It's going to be where you least expect it, the last place you look. Well, I thought of that, but I wrote it off, But, dang, that was it, Those things they write off, those people they write off are the ones they're going to find it. It's not going to be somebody popular that finds it. It's somebody that didn't take the same path. And of the 300 and some thousand looking, probably 250,000 of them are up in Yellowstone, in a place that's bold and not subtle at all. Not subtle at all. That's the only thing bold. He says in the poem, the only thing bold, treasures are bold. The rest is subtle. That includes brown, omegas. Omegas can mean arches. They can mean rainbows. And if you want to find the end of his rainbow, look for the beginning of his rainbow. Near. Why did I think that of that moment? And this is another thing. I hate when I get a great thought, and I'll remember that. And what was that I was thinking? It won't come back for weeks, But because you got to write things when it comes to your mind, write it down. Hey, Steve. Just trying to educate the searchers, and let them know that I don't see how those people got 2,500. There are people you can pay. If you got money, you can pay people to bring you viewers. you know. And them, they got, you know, they're all those, you know, they're all in the same boat together. They're all in the same bathtub together. You know what? Yeah, I'm not bathing with them. You know, every one of those bloggers, the bloggers, they all crap on my solve, give me no credit at all, never ever mention me, nothing. You know, and all the people that are wrong don't want to mention the guy that's right because they're jealous. They're a bunch of wussies. You know, I don't know. Boo boo, boo boo. How about a picnic basket? Yeah, I haven't seen Boo Boo yet, but people have reported Boo Boos up in the area. My son was coming up to see me camping up there, and he saw one, I guess, from the road while he was driving, one heading up the creek. No, it's not New Mexico. It's not Wyoming. It's not in Montana. Yellowstone's part of Wyoming, so it's not there either. It's definitely in Colorado. It's not in northern Colorado. It's not in Chaffee County. It's not up there. That's kind of deserty and stuff. Where the treasure is, there are no rattlesnakes. Told me to look at pictures in the stones. I said, yeah, the stones. What was it? Cap Van Lang. He said, I talked to a psychic, and he said, this is what the blaze looks like. It was like, wow, that looks just like the one I found. It says Fenn up the, it's up the way up, 300 feet up the straight up rock up there near the top it says Fenn with a fish on top of it, like the Christian like fish, you know, just the fish with the triangle tail and a fish eye on it, and an eye and a mouth, and then there's two fish hooks in front of it. No, 7,400 feet's the valley. If you need oxygen, bring it. I need some. I got. That's another thing I got to try. I'm gonna try and locate. I see my doctor on the 11th, and I tell her I go hiking in the hills, and I need an emergency bottle of oxygen with me. You know, stop treating me like I'm 25 years old, doc. You know, you have one doctor puts in your VA record, oh, somatization disorder. And she put that in there today about throwing up in her office, you know? And so the other doctors see that. Oh, it must be true. He's making it up. That's malpractice, basically, because the doctor gave me a psychological disorder, and she's not a psychologist. So, because I've asked, I went to the psychologist. This doctor said that I'm making it up. No, your doctor doesn't know what they're talking about. When I say it's idiopathic neuropathy, that means your doctor's such an idiot they can't figure out why your feet are going numb. You know, idiopathic. You have an idiot pathologist. we got some idiopathic searchers blogging and sending people off in the wrong directions. That's really nice, you know. Maybe if I make people think I'm nuts, none of them will believe me and none of them will follow me. If Fenn wants a bracelet, I want a toke or two on that pipe. Yeah, that's a damn good pipe. And yeah, I do use it. I do live in Colorado. I could well qualify for a medical easily, but they charge you like $150, $200 a year for it, and you got to go to the doctor every year, renew it, a bunch of BS, and it's like $20 tax on $100 ounce, you know. So, so that I'm looking at 12 times 20. I'm looking at 200 and something dollars in tax instead of $200 for the for the license and the doctor and all that and all the BS. It's just easier here. I'll just pay the tax. You know. Yeah, it's a cancer killer, and I had nodules in my lungs, and the VA. Well, you got to come every. I had for every 6 months for 2 years. I had to go and get a CAT scan on my lungs. Each time I went in, I mean, well, the nodules in the lower left of your lower left lung, and then you go in the next time, and it's in the middle of your right lung. It's like, you talking about a nodule or a animal? Because this thing's moving around, walking around in there. So, yeah, they never grew, you know. You smoke enough of that, and it's great. It's smoking it kills lung cancer. That's a known fact. For other cancers, you need to eat it. And I've got to try and eat more than smoking it. So I've ordered tea bags to grind it up, put a nice decent dose in a tea bag and throw it in with my tea. Did you hear him? He's a great bird. I don't know if all of you know about my I gotta have a legal address. Gotta have a legal address to grow, and to get a legal address, I have to get a permit for a well, get a permit for a septic, get a septic, and then put a home in here, because this county thinks that, oh, well, you know, if you have the well and that and all the permits and all that, you can put a house in and all that. But if you can't afford that, we're going to charge you $100 a month to live there in your RV. That's called extortion. It's criminal, and it's fraudulent. They're defrauding. They're trying to tell you how you have to live. Well, no, yeah. Come on down, county. Come on down. I got a constitution, and I have God-given rights, and only God can take them away. You can't. Yep. Yeah, tell the county that. I tell them to kiss their ass. Them people kiss the clown's ass. Yeah. So what do we need to know about the poem again here? I don't know. And my I finally I had the hat trick game, and I want to do the hat trick game again, but I'm waiting for the shipping tubes, because I gave away the 2 posters, and I go to I said, well, okay, now I got to mail these posters. So I go to Walmart. They got shipping tubes. No, we don't have shipping tubes. We only have boxes. Okay, so I go to Walgreens. They don't have shipping tubes. So then I went to the post office. So the post office got to have them. So I went to the little one here. Oh, no, we don't carry those. We don't sell enough of them. I asked the local draftsman if he needed me to get some, and he didn't need any, so I didn't order any. You have a special customer but you don't take care of the general public. You know, kind of, you're the post office, you know. I expect you to have these things. You don't. It's a lousy. I mean, pretty soon you go down there. Oh, we don't sell stamps. You'll have to go down to Safeway and get your stamps. Yeah, I got a. I'm on solar. And at this time from March through maybe up to it'd be like September, into September. There's enough sun that I got an inverter running in my computer on. It can be on till 2 in the morning, and I'm fine. And after that, if the RV batteries go down, I'm running on the laptop battery or my tablet batteries. My speakers got battery. Everything's got batteries in them here because I prepared for no power. When I lived in Oregon and I was at a private RV space up on this hill, and I could see out to the ocean. The ocean was 2 miles away, and I was 1,300 feet up. So, you know, it was like great view. If I did a lot of sunset pictures, got published in a newspaper, had 18 of my sunset pictures covering the front page of the living section, January 31st, 2015, in Brookings, Oregon. So I'm in the paper published there, and all it says is, you know, had my name. You know, January, month of sunsets. Yeah, I got some friends up in Portland. A friend of mine lives in a bus up there, I think. I think he's got it up there. But yeah, I don't like cities. I don't even like going to little town Alamosa here. Yeah, I went in there. Went to Walmart, and I went Tractor Supply, got my propane, and I was heading over to Burger King to get a Texas Double Whopper, and I took a right turn, and halfway down the block, there's lights coming up after me. You know, you know, when you make a right turn, you're not allowed. You have to go to the first lane. You can't go to the second lane. I was like, really? You know, that's originally from California. In there, you can take either lane, you know. And they make this stupid little law. No, I didn't see him. I see that place. I know where he went. I drive by there all the time. I see True Grits when I drive by. But I haven't eaten there. True Grits, I think it's right next door to the Outhouse restaurant that shut down. Who would name their restaurant the Outhouse? Can I have a shit burger? Yeah, no wonder they failed. Maybe you should have tried changing your name before you completely failed. Why don't you just call it the cesspool? Open a swimming pool and call it the cesspool. They must have been looking for a tax write-off. So, do you get flies? Flies with a shipper? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. And picote. Yeah. But, let me show you guys. Some of you, I don't know if I showed all of you the this is the main temple. Oh, it switched to double switch. It came right back to me. Boom. There. Who doesn't see the guy sitting in the throne? You know? Is it that ET over here? There's another guy there, see? Or it's his woman. Oh, yeah, you see? You know how I know it's his woman? Because there's her nipple. Here's her arm. That's his woman. So this guy's sitting in the throne. There's another skull up here next to him. But you see here, there's elephant trunks. There's one there. There's an elephant head here. There's figures on the rocks. Oh, there's some in here. There's a painting in here. And I wanted to get up there when I was up on top of the hill to get a close-up of that. And I couldn't figure out where I was because you're walking along, the top is all flat and there's just a cliff. And you look at where it's... They didn't bring a rope. That's what I think. The teachers with ropes. If you're going to be on something steep, use a rope. Bring a mountain climber with you. But I wanted to find the other. There's a. How do the universities not see something like that? The Adams State University, the anthropologist there, was very impressed with my pictures. Jared Beaton, and he is the anthropologist. He worked on the dating that San Diego mammoth and the tools that were found with it. And it's 150,000 years old. There were people in North America. The mammoth didn't make the tools. Yeah, he was very impressed with my pictures. And he was like, oh, wow. I like that. Neat, 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 neat. Wow. Awesome. Everything was cool, you know. The only thing I don't know about what I asked him at the end, I said, well, what do you think? And all that. And he was talking about, well, the lichens are, those kind of lichens only live 1,000 years. So we can't date stuff more than that. You know, the rocks, they can't be dated. You know, if the lichens grew for 20,000 years, then they could tell exactly how old it, unless it's older than 20,000 years. You know, if they found 20,000-year-old lichens, they go, man, this thing's over 20,000 years old. But all they can do is say over 1,000 because the lichens only live 1,000 years. And I was hoping he wasn't insinuating that I was seeing shapes in the lichens. The poster I'll go get one of them. I'll stick it up here temporary. What I shipped to, I shipped these. There you go. Woo! Bum-ba-da. So, yeah, just take this one. I messed up one signature. I sent them the ones with the good ones. But, you know. Will that fit there? Can I put that there? How am I gonna? Oh, these pictures. How can I? Oop. Well, I'm having trouble sticking it on the wall. There. It's just propped up there. But, yeah, you can see this face here. You know, he's looking at you. But see, there's lichens in his mouth. And, it's like the lichens don't like to grow on this red. And the red is red ochre paint. And the black is some kind of paint, obviously, because they've done his eyes and eyebrows and stuff. And I think what they done was they had the black is the result of a magnifying glass, I'm thinking. I don't know where the other cardboard went. Oh, right there. So, the black, because I got this one figure, and I'll show it to you. There's a guy in the rock, and his hair is like jet black. You know? And it's like melted rock. And melted rock is... petrified or something, victrified rock. And what that means is that a meteorite or a comet or something entered the Earth's atmosphere and had a astronomical event hit Earth, basically. And it has to be at least 3,200 degrees or something to melt the rock. And the rock got melted. So, yeah. Art Clovis. Ooh, that's not him. So for the rock to melt like that, it had to get that hot. And there are people that think that the ancient people may have had magnifying glasses and stuff and used mirrors or magnifying glass. Maybe they didn't have mirror. Maybe they used, because like down here, there's a lot of mica in northern New Mexico around La Madera, because I searched around there. There's Lost Treasure Mine and Hidden Treasure Mine I went to. And if you're going there and you find somebody's piece of someone's partial there, that's mine. Fell out of my pocket. That's when, yeah, I've lost a lot of things that just fall out of your pocket while you're walking along searching. And I'm not following trails, so you can't just backtrack so easily. Manganese and water to victrify the rock. I don't know if they could do that. Hey, let me see. Tombs. I want to find that guy, the little guy with the. I made a poster with him. And yeah, I gotta get some more prints here. Yeah, I can only get so many things printed a month, and so I got to build up an inventory so I can have a little gallery, like enough art to take to a gallery and put in there. I'll probably bring some up. A friend in Denver on the art walk. Yeah, I don't know where that is. It's see, I'm oh, this I'm hang on, let me get my brain together. I'm trying to find that one picture because I want to show you what I'm talking about with that victrified rock. The hair. Well, I know I've had it for a profile picture, so I'm going to go get it there. Oh. And then you go on your screen and there's all these notifications all over the top of what you want to click on. You know? They say, oh, computers are getting a lot smarter. A computer can go take off on its own, man. It's going to leave you behind. You know, it's like, well, one day my computer decided it knew what I needed to do, and so I let it go do that, and I went another way and did what I wanted to do. Yeah, basically. Okay, there, I found the picture. Okay. Now you see his hair, look at his eyes aren't burnt into the rock like his hair is, you know? So that rock there is melted rock. And somehow, but you see, you can see figures in the melted rock too. There's several. They were like that. They like you there. Yeah, there is somebody in his eye. He's laying on his back. Look here. There's his mouth, an eye, his eyes. This is his head. Yeah, there are. You can find that kind of stuff, you know. The people were dancing with Lucy in the sky, you know, Lucy in the sky with diamonds. They were eating them red and white mushrooms that are up there, and the people that were coming through there had passed through Texas and brought their peyote. I'm sure that it was a trade route, and they had everything they needed, you know. So yeah, that's a Clovis man, and it's 14,000 years old. I just noticed there's some other stuff in there. At 14,000-year-old archaeology is stuff that Forrest really likes. He likes things that are Egyptian, and I got Egyptian gods. Hooty ho, hooty ho ho. Oh, Homer. Yeah. Too bad your cousin David doesn't have that home anymore. Too bad he's gone. But I think the only way to you that see that Homer Brown there. The whole valley is basically private property there, and it's very high security. I mean, you're talking people that built Silicon Valley and stuff. I think he sold it to somebody else that he knew in that same business circle of the San Francisco. Somebody in San Francisco bought it, but it's you know, and that's Silicon Valley is 40 miles from San Francisco. It's all the Bay Area. It's like the difference between Hollywood and Los Angeles, you know. It's the same area, so I'm pretty sure it's somebody in the same business group, or maybe it just changed hands to who he left it to. I don't know. God, could you imagine that much money and taxes are 50%? You know, that's one thing Forrest is looking. You know, I wonder if he's able to write it off in his taxes as a donation or a charity, or he could write it off as a loss. I'm sure there's lots of ways that you can do it with a good lawyer, and that's one thing most of us can't afford is a good lawyer. And it's an oxymoron to think you can find a good lawyer. Because they're like, well, let me see. You barely scrape by and sometimes don't have enough propane to last to the end of the month, so I'll only charge you $4,000. Oh, wow, you're... Yeah. And them guys bringing in 50,000 a month. Who knows? You know. So they're just greedy. Forrest talked about the greed thing and his. If you took all the federal land, divided it up amongst all the people, everybody would have 2.086 acres. And visit Mr. Brown, he's got 3,100 acres. He's got more than he deserved. Yeah. He was down, I'm sure down, you know, Forrest romanced his customers. Take me per use of your service. How about tax me per use? Yeah. I think when you pay your taxes, you should be, there should be, okay, there's a list of all the government departments. NASA, and you decide what percentage of your tax goes to each of those departments. And that way you're not supporting departments that you don't agree with. Like, oh, I'm not giving any money to the FBI or the CIA. They're not getting any money. Neither's the NSA. Look what they did to that guy. You know? But NASA, I don't know about NASA. How about Elon Musk on there? If you give money to NASA, it goes to Elon. But let me see. I've kind of run out of my major subject. I don't even remember what it was here today. I don't care. But you know, they're gonna have another new vlogger. Oh, well, there's a new vlogger. Let's get him on the show. Man, that guy had been searching for 5 years. Forget him. The guy that's onto it and knows the treasure area. There is no walk right to it. Forrest has said that you can't go right to it. He said the poem will take you to it. Basically, it takes you to the area. And the area is many square miles. And so you've narrowed it down from 4 states to square miles, you know, and maybe, and I always hope I hope it ain't further down the road. I hope this is a spot, and I'm pretty sure I'm in the spot, because it fits. I don't say how it fits. I just tell you it fits. And if you know, after I find it, I can tell you how it fits. But I'm not going to send anybody to my end zone. You know, you might get near my end zone, but to get an exact, you know, you're going to be at the 5 to 10 mile radius when I'm focused on 2.86 acres. Yeah, but it's still hard because you got, well, he could have, he might not have put it there, but he might have, so I better look anyhow. And I just recalled some spots because I see spots and I think, oh yeah, I gotta check that, and I got a real long list of all these little spots I gotta check and stuff. And this time of year, right now, the water is not low. It's maybe a foot or two higher than maybe this year. By mid-June, I think there won't be this snow runoff will be gone, and will be less water than last year probably. And if you got to cross the water, it shouldn't be more than knee deep. Usually it's just up to about the calf. And there's elephants in the water. Stone elephants. Now, with all these stone figures, I wonder if Methuselah was around there. Yeah. So, well, I think that'll do it. Yeah, I'll think of some subjects for my next video. I'm trying to. I've got so many videos, and to just make a little clip is like gigabytes. I got more videos than will fit on my computer, so I got a 5 terabyte drive, and it's like got a terabyte left on it. That's a lot of video and pictures. So I'm on, like, I got my Nikon in July, I think, and I've taken 18,000 pictures since then. It's a lot to go through, and when I'm looking for a picture, it's like, where's it? I know it's here. Because there's a lot of stuff that's like very hard to see, and some stuff that's easy to make out. And I'm trying to narrow down the easy to make out stuff, like Mr. Anubis. I'll leave you with Moses. There's Moses standing on the mammoth. This is done, it put processed and added colors to it. But it's the same shapes. I didn't alter the shapes. But that's Moses. And this is where the Ten Commandments were received, where the omnipotent guru received the Ten Commandments. Salazar, look in once upon a while.